What's up, guys? So I'm here to discuss this Bears and Bucks game for Sunday on September 17th of 2017. I got my little note sheet, so let's get into it. Actually, before I start, I want to apologize if my voice is either too low or too high, or if there's a lot of background noise. I'm recording off of my phone because my PC setup is garbage. So yeah. I'm kind of biting into what the actual Bears say in their pregame stuff, like their keys to the game. And my major key to the game is Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon is going to play a huge role because he's been on the Bucks for, I believe, 4 years or 2 years, one of the two. But he has not started in a while. But he knows the offense, he knows the defense, he knows how they work. So he has to step up as a quarterback, as a player, to really show that he needs to be the starter. And for me, I feel like he's the only guy to do it. Trubisky, he's still too young. He did amazing in the preseason, don't get me wrong, but he's still too young. I agree with what the Bears are doing, letting him just watch to see what happens, because they don't want to risk getting him injured, because the injury bug is biting hard on every team. Another key to this game is going to be the running game for the Bucks defense. For the Bucks offense. The Bucks running game is as non-existent as Mark Sanchez's role on the Bears right now. Okay? So the Bears defense has to step in, stop the passing game, have them run, but I would not give it past Jaquez Rodgers. I don't know if he's suspended or if he's injured or what's up with him. I haven't heard anything about him yet, but Doug Martin, their high-power running back, is suspended for a few games. I should know. I have him on my fantasy. They just gotta stop the running game and do their best to stop the passing game, because Buccaneers have a ton of threats. They have Brait. They have Deshaun Jackson. They have Mike Evans as the wide receivers. If the Bears defense last week against the Falcons could barely hold up against Julio Jones and Austin Hooper, I don't know how they're going to hold up against all three of these guys. But Deshaun Jackson is getting kind of old. He doesn't really perform too much. Mike Evans, he's pretty good. he's really good. He had the most receptions for any wide receiver in the game. So they got to really buckle down on him. And as for Brait, tight ends just tear up the Bears defense because Austin Hooper just killed it last week. So moving on to some important notes that I wrote down. Tanner Gentry, whoever he is, the guy from Wyoming, I believe. There's a lot of people that are hyped about him. I saw his tapes at Wyoming. He did pretty good. He had a pretty good run in the Titans game in preseason. But I don't know. We'll see how he is. Like I said earlier, the Bears defense, the pass defense, has to be on point, because Jameis likes to throw happy. He's a throw happy kind of guy, and this is going to be a pass happy kind of team when they go up against the Buccaneers on Sunday, since this running game is so bad. So Jameis, although he's really good at passing, he's also really good at throwing interceptions. So hopefully Marcus Cooper or Eddie Jackson can capitalize on that. Prince Amukamara, I don't know if he's going to be in, but Fuller's going to be in. Hopefully they can capitalize on that and really turn the ball over as much as they can. And that front line, Willie Young, Akeem Hicks, Hicks 96, had a hell of a game last week. Let's hope he can repeat this week. Who else is there? Unrein, he's all right, I guess. And speaking of the offensive line, the Bears' offensive line, there's one guy on that defensive line for the Buccaneers that the Bears have to watch, and his name is Gerald McCoy. And Gerald McCoy is either going to be going after Bobby Massey, who kind of fell apart last week against the Falcons, or he's going to go against Charles Leno Jr. And if my assumptions are correct, the Buccaneers are going to see that Bobby Massey had a kind of a bad week last week, and they're going to go after him. So Bobby, he's got to step up as the guard and really try and stop Gerald McCoy because either the offensive line has to really give a big enough pocket for Glennon, or Glennon really needs to stop doing his check downs, because last week against the Falcons, I don't know if this is like his actual thing, if he did this with the Buccaneers when he was playing for them, but last week what I saw, and what a lot of you guys probably saw, was he just stares straight over into the distance, tries to look at one guy, and if he's not open, he just, he ends up getting sacked or whatever. His pocket presence is non-existent, just like the Buccaneers running game right now. So either he needs to learn how to move around in the pocket like Trubisky. That's how Trubisky's got him beat. In the preseason when I've been watching him, Trubisky was, after the pocket collapsed, he did good at keeping the play alive. He either ran it, threw it short, threw it long, whatever. He knows how to keep the pocket presence there. He knows how to keep the play going. Glennon, he's more of a statue in the pocket. When you give him the ball, or if he throws short routes or medium routes, he's really good. But you can't expect him to hold on to the ball longer than maybe 3 seconds, because then the pocket's going to collapse on him, and he's going to end up getting a sack for minus 12 yards or something. Overall, this game between the Bears and Bucs is a very winnable game for the Bears. It is also a winnable game for the Bucs. But, that's how it is with every team. But on paper, this is a very winnable game for the Bears. And if the Bears can do what they did last week against the Falcons, this week against the Buccaneers, it should be good. And another side note I have is give Tariq Chicken Salad Cohen and Jordan Howard some more play time together, because if they have little routes where they're side by side and they go out for each route, it's going to be hard to cover them. Plus, our wide receiver game isn't really good, so they do have to rely on the running backs a little bit. So keep both of them in, do some gimmicky plays like that Wildcat play or whatever from last week. Just try and utilize them, trick the defense up a little bit, because now they'll know about Tariq and what he can do, because what he did against the Falcons last week and what he's been doing in preseason this past year. So, I don't know. I just hope they go for some good gimmicky sets. I'm a gimmicky kind of guy, and I like watching gimmicky sets on like YouTube or whatever. But, I don't know. I just hope I hope the Bears can pull it off, because it's going to be a hell of a week next week against the Steelers and then the Packers. So, like I said, and also in this NFC North is a very competitive North, but I don't know. I'd say if the Bears won last week, I would feel like they would be on top, because they did beat a high caliber team. Granted, the Packers did beat the Seahawks, although there were some some penalties that should have been called or whatever, but that's like that with every game. But, I don't know, they just both look bad. Vikings, of course, beat the Saints, but, it's the Saints. Their defense isn't really anything. And then the Lions, they did come up with an impressive win over the Cardinals, but that's mainly because they lost David Johnson. And, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe if you like. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends or whatever, and yeah, just let me know what you think in the comments about this Bears and Bucs game. Hopefully the Bears can pull this W and bear down, guys.